my attempt at a waste oil burner. She's running used veggie oil, canola oil. That stuff. Start it with a little bit of Caro and oil in there. Put the blowtorch in one of them holes. It's just a little 6-inch pot or whatever it is, stainless steel. Holes drilled around the side. Ugh. That is an old water heater, gas one that I've cut down and flipped the bits around to make a chamber. That's the flue that goes inside the tank, which is now the chimney, and that's burning pretty clean. See a little puff of smoke every now and then, but every time I make a mod it gets better and better. I just feed the oil in through a funnel. I've got to change that setup into a proper drip feed, but I just fill it up to under the holes, and there's a little pipe sticking out from the drum, or the water heater thing, and that's got 4 holes around it, and the bottom's open, so when it gets really low then it sucks in more, and the flue comes up about halfway or something, but I've got that capped off, and there's holes drilled around. It's pretty messy in there. I don't know if you can see it. But yeah, that vaporizes the oil as it goes in, and then it burns in this part. That's where you get your heat from. And that ran really rich because I was just sucking in lots of oil vapours, and it was rolling coal out the chimney and sooting everything up. So underneath, I just drilled some holes around there. I've been adding 1 or 2 more holes, making it a little bit bigger as it each time I try it, and there's less smoke each time, so having a secondary burn for the gas, the vapours. If you could have like a controllable source, then you could, and for the burner thing, I've got too many holes there I think. If you could control them holes as well, you can control the fuel, and then you control the air for the burn, then you can get a nice clean burn and have it controllable. Those holes are just rust holes, and I've just drilled them out, but because it goes into a bigger chamber at the bottom, like in this, compared to what's sucking in, it's pulling the vacuum, and it's still, it's a bit windy today, it's still sucking in. And yeah, it's not very good for outside. If this was inside a shed, like I'm nice and warm sitting right, standing right here. And they're all rust holes from the tank. Sitting outside for a bit. So if I was going to do this again, I'd have like little slide things so I can just turn it to get more air for the fuel, and then I'll have like a controllable flap, or even like a little manifold or something coming into there, something I can adjust, and just have a drip feed. Right now I'm just filling it up. I tried it with a little peristaltic pump, little thing from AliExpress, and a PWM variable thingy to control the speed, but that keeps jamming up, and if the tube gets oil on it, which it has, the whole pipe migrates and then pulls it out of the fluid, so it stops, or it jams up and stops. So I'm going to have a drip feed system. But that's been burning for about 20 minutes, half an hour maybe, just on the up to the holes. Now it's probably just below this rotor thing, which is that's just there for support, which is burning really well. Yeah, that's where I cut it and had to get it to the inside, but ideally that would be sealed up, maybe a little access door. So that's letting air in as well, helps with the secondary burn. And there's stuff all smoke. You can see a little bit. And that's with veg oil. You can hear a bit of moisture in there. But not bad. My phone's pretty hot now from being so close to it. So I'd like to make it out of stainless steel, out of a gas cylinder or something, which I got one of them. And that's why you'd want it indoors, flue outside. The wind just blows that, the flames come out. Yeah, either suck. Control the holes there, or control them on the inside that let the vapours into the tank, and then you control the air from there to mix and burn it so it's nice and clean. You can probably have a little bit more air than what you ideally need, and that won't hurt. You just make more of a draft and be a little bit cooler, but it'll burn clean. See, there's a little bit. That's because it's the wind's stuffing around with it. But yeah, that's pretty awesome for the first go. A couple of iterations. I had the oil dripping inside here. I didn't have the bottom pot, and that worked. But then it built up too much in the holes. Started leaking oil out of there. And that was before I had all these little holes here. I was leaking through the holes on the inside. And there's water getting in because it's starting to rain a bit. Or it's burning down too low. That's just the veg oil. Cat food can plugging up the bottom part of the flue where it's sucking in. You can't really see it in there. Oh yeah, there it is. If I knock that one off, then the flame will come straight up, straight out the flue, and you get flames out here. More than that. But that's happening because it's getting too low in oil now, and it's sucking underneath the flue. The bottom part. It's not bad. The camera's not really showing that level. I can see it with my eyes. Probably about a 15 mils depth of oil left. It's starting to run out. So I'll let it go and go back inside. You can see there's a cat food can in the middle. Maybe a stick that fits in the hole. Just has to. I can't get it. Oh well. I'll take it off and then light it up and show you. You just get massive flames out of there and it rolls coal. It's rolling a bit more now as it's burning out. Still not bad though. Nearly conked out before. Had to start it with a little bit of kerosene again. Put some more veggie oil in there. I removed the cap from the bottom part of the flue, the can off there. So now the flame's going straight up. As you can see there. It goes all the way up to the flue. Then if you look, it's smoky, very smoky. Can't have that, it stinks. That's too much fuel. But then this ends up glowing, so you can't see. Around here it starts glowing. Leave it long enough. It's not yet. It might not now because I've added those extra holes underneath. Those ones. It's not burning as ferocious as what it did last time before I had all them holes. Camera doesn't pick it up. Yeah. And that's not putting out much heat. The flue is, because it's got the flame going all the way up through there. There is a hole around here somewhere. There. The flame's going all the way up the flue. And that's, yeah, and it spits out ash and crap. Yeah, that's it. Alright, that's inside it. Those holes down the bottom there, that's where the flame usually comes out. Get this can, plug up that. And then it comes through and goes up. And there's a plate around here somewhere, I'll stick that on. Where did that go? I'll stick that on top. That won't fit. Stick that on there as well. Brake disc. So now the flame has to go right around that and then out the chimney. So I'll stick it back on and I haven't tried it this way yet. I just paused you for a second there. Now it's on. Still comes down, so it's not hitting the disc. So now the flame goes right past the top here. It's smoking a little bit. I think it's just got to build up more heat. And it's starting to rain. The oil's starting to burn down again. Yeah, not bad. Be better if it wasn't windy. Airflow. Sometimes it goes out and then fucking woof. Lights up again.